What's up, guys? Hope you're doing well. Okay, so I know I'm technically on vacation, which is going amazing, by the way, and breaking my own promise, but this is how dedicated I am to you all. Some new intel just dropped, and it is Bombshell. My jaw is literally still on the floor. Not only does this look really bad for the state's case, it is only going to create more questions to swirl around guess who? Dylan and Bethany. Let's get into it. First up, some new context we now know is that at 2 o'clock, Kaylee, Madison, Dylan, and Bethany were all congregated in Kaylee's room. You know, they were just hanging out. But this is where it gets interesting. Apparently the girls were discussing going out to a food truck for a late night snack. Keep in mind that Kaylee and Madison had just returned home from a food truck with a late night snack. I'm not done yet. So apparently that discussion about going out to a food truck is what prompted Dylan's text to Eric Gower for a possible ride. But then the girls ultimately decided they did not want to go and they went to bed, which might sound fine, but if you recall, let's add in the context that at approximately 2:30, just 20 minutes later, Kaylee and Madison begin a series of rapid calls to Jack D. Madison even calls Bethany at 2:53, who she just seen, with no response. Make it all make sense. It only gets weirder. Stay with me, guys. Apparently at that 2 a.m. congregation time in Kaylee's room, it's reported that Xana and Ethan were not home yet. So those phone calls from Kaylee and Madison that ended at approximately 2:53 are the last known alleged signs of life from those two ladies. Next up, let's fast forward to approximately 4:30, which, as we know, is around the time that Dylan is alleged to have ran down to Bethany's room after seeing a man in the house at 4 a.m. As we also knew, Dylan had seen Xana on the floor at some point, we just did not know when. Well, now we know. Dylan saw Xana lying on the floor at approximately 4:30 when she was running down to Bethany's room. Xana's body was positioned so that her head was towards the far wall and her feet were facing the door. But Dylan thought she was just drunk. So how you guys doing? Has your jaw hit the floor yet? We're almost done. This last category is more forensics. A lot of this we have discussed here, so it's not so surprising, but it's going to be extremely problematic for the state. As we know, the defense will have an expert that will allege that there were two assailants and two weapons. That same expert will also allege that two weapons were used on Kaylee and that Xana and Ethan were attacked at the same time. I saved the best for last. As we have discussed here ad nauseum, the defense will allege that there was a cleanup of the crime scene that would have taken a significant period of time, longer than the sole assailant theory by the state. Which begs the ultimate question. When did all of that cleanup happen? And where were Dylan and Bethany when all of that commotion was going on? Oh yeah, they were on Snapchat, Instagram, or photo editing. Talk to me.